Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving right into a literally crucial survival mechanism for the automotive electronics industry. We're looking at this massive balancing act that every major player absolutely has to master, the split between OEM and aftermarket revenue. Seriously, if you've ever wondered how the companies building those smart, connected screens inside your car actually survive wild economic swings, well, this is exactly where we need to start.
So there are basically two distinct battlegrounds for these tech suppliers. On the OEM side, that's original equipment manufacturer, it's all about landing that massive initial contract. You're getting your brand new component directly onto the factory assembly line right as the car is being built. But then you have the aftermarket, and that's really the long tail. That's the replacement market, stepping in when that original component just inevitably fails, and a driver or a local repair shop desperately needs a fix.
Just think about how this plays out right now in the auto industry with your modern instrument cluster, as we completely shift away from those simple, old-school analog dials to these incredibly expensive, full-color TFT digital touchscreens. Well, step one is just selling that shiny new cluster straight to the vehicle manufacturer. But step two, that's where the real long game kicks in. That's supplying a replacement screen years down the road when a driver inevitably cracks theirs or, the pixels just decide to die out.
Now, you might be wondering, why is balancing these two very different revenue streams an absolute matter of survival for dashboard manufacturers? I mean, why couldn't a company just focus entirely on landing those massive, multi-million-dollar factory contracts and call it a day? Well, it all comes down to the underlying financial reality of the auto sector. Sure, OEM revenue brings in massive volume, but it is highly, highly cyclical. It relies completely on consumers actively buying brand new cars. If the broader economy dips, those factory orders can literally dry up overnight. But the aftermarket? The volume might be lower, yeah, but it is incredibly stable. It's rock solid. Why? Because old parts always break. Regardless of whether the economy is booming or we're in a deep recession, existing vehicles on the road still need replacement clusters to keep running.
The really big takeaway for us here is that serving the replacement market isn't just some little side hustle for these suppliers. It provides an absolutely critical safety net. It gives them this vital diversification against the wild booms and busts of new vehicle production. Think about it. A pure OEM-only supplier is entirely at the mercy of the macroeconomy. But a supplier that intentionally balances those huge OEM contracts with a really strong aftermarket presence, they've basically got built-in financial shock absorbers to survive the lean years.
And honestly, this whole dynamic is actively shifting right now as vehicle technology evolves. I mean, analog clusters used to be relatively cheap to replace, right? But as our car dashboards transition into these massive, high-tech, and frankly highly breakable connected screens, the cost of these components is just skyrocketing. So it leaves us with this really provocative thought. In the long run, as vehicles basically become entirely software-driven screens on wheels, who truly holds the financial power here? Is it the factory that builds the outer metal shell of the car, or is it the electronics company supplying its endless, super expensive digital replacements? It's definitely something to keep in mind the next time you get behind the wheel.